Hi, welcome to Funded. I'm Katelyn Finney, and this is a Clearinghouse CDFI podcast, here to give you a glimpse into the community development work Clearinghouse CDFI is doing around the country. Listeners can expect to tune into conversations discussing what a CDFI is, how getting funded by a CDFI works, community impact stories, and how we are all working towards building better communities together. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Funded by Clearinghouse CDFI. I'm your host, Katelyn Finney. Today, we're joined by Susan Montoya and Omar Sosa Garcia from our internship program here at Clearinghouse. And Susan and Omar are going to talk to us a little bit today about the internship program and their experiences with getting it up and running. Susan, Omar, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Katelyn. Nice to be here.
Susan, could you give the audience a quick background about how you ended up at Clearinghouse CDFI?
Sure. Well, my background started over 30 years ago working for a bank. I never thought that was going to be my lifelong career, but got involved in many different aspects of the bank, learned a lot of different departments, and ended up spending the last 30 years managing CRA and a community development aspect for a major institution. And then how my partnership with the Clearinghouse started was working for a bank. We were an investor. I've been an investor with a Clearinghouse on the lending side since the second loan opportunity that came out and was offered. And just continue to grow that partnership. Continue to provide equity investments to Clearinghouse, served on the board of directors and the vice chair for over 10 years. And then I quit my job with the financial institution industry, moved out of the area and picked up again with Doug and the executive team at Clearinghouse to expand an internship program for our college students.
Lovely. So you had a little bit of the back end experience with Clearinghouse and then kind of got involved with our mission from there and had to get your toes really wet and join us full on. So I love it. And Omar, can you give us a background about your education and how you landed at the internship program with us?
Yeah, thank you. So first and foremost, I just want to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone listening and to those who are present today. My name is Omar Sosa Garcia. I am a 19-year-old junior at Cal State Long Beach, and my major is aerospace engineering. I've been a 4.0 GPA student for the majority of my school career. Well, that is until I reached the collegiate level. Nevertheless, I never settled with the letter grade. Regardless of my standings, I've always pushed to maximize my ability. Now, with that being said, I learned about the incredible Be Bolder internship program through a nonprofit organization known as Stepping Up. I've been a part of Stepping Up from the start of my high school journey, and for as long as I can remember, they have always encouraged me to apply for the internship. Now, it took me a while to build up the courage to do so, but here I am now with the one and only Susan.
I love it. And Susan, the Stepping Up program, I think that has a little bit to do with how the internship program kind of got started. Can you give us a background about what the initial motivation was to get the program running?
Yeah, so I have a mentor through Stepping Up, and she was just always encouraging me, telling me to do so, because Be Bolder didn't really have to do much with my major, and she just told me to reach out, try to grow my network. So that's how the encouragement occurred, and that's how it happened. I just wanted to expand my network and my vocal skills to communicate my emotions and my ideas properly.
I love it. Susan, can you kind of bridge the gap? Like, how does the Be Bolder program and Stepping Up, how do those two meet?
Yes. Well, Clearinghouse has partnered with OCCHC and their Stepping Up program. And in many ways, our internship program is actually named after the founder of OCCHC, and that's Alan Peter Baldwin. So we're happy to call ourselves the Be Bolder internship program and mention Alan's name also proudly within our title. Well, our partnership has continued to work with the organization there and the students that they support in their Stepping Up program, helping to identify high school students with background and information on getting a college education and all the steps that it takes to develop that college acceptance letter and a choice of college that the student wants to attend. So we've been fortunate enough to have our internship program identified by the Stepping Up class, and they were able to recruit from the student body that they were assisting on a year-to basis. And so those students came to us applying for the job, and some of them have been selected as our interns in various cohorts.
I love it. And can you give our audience a explanation of what Be Bolder stands for, either of you? Susan, maybe Omar? You guys decide.
Sure.
I think go ahead, Susan.
Well, I mean, the full acronym, it is an acronym. The original program that Clearinghouse started with in 2016 was just Be Bold. And that is to build bridges and through outreach, leadership, and development. And then when I came on board in 2020, we expanded it to the Be Bolder and also included engagement and recruitment into our title. So that was the expansion of adding the college students to the internship program. And Omar, go ahead. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that Be Bolder for me, it stands to just like get out of your comfort zone. Just push yourself to the limits and try to be the best version of yourself. And through this internship, they really do that. They try to maximize your efforts, and you just have to just put your best foot forward when you don't feel like doing so.
I love it. Omar, what were some of the key takeaways? You're at the end of this program now. What are some of the key takeaways or lessons that you feel like you've learned through your time and your weeks spent with us?
Yeah, so the main thing I'll be taking away is how to be positive on a day in and day out basis. You see, I found it admirable how everyone was so supportive, so respectful, and so delightful every day. I mean, the conversations I had were always passionate and real, and that small aspect of this program meant so much to me that I plan to incorporate that into my lifestyle. The ability of always being positive regardless of whatever's going on behind closed doors. Now, a notable piece of advice that I received comes from an HR workshop that I attended within my on-site location, Pacific Premier Bank. The workshop had to do with resume building and methods to perform well within an interview. And the host said something like, don't be interviewed, do the interviewing. And that really resonated with me because I never thought about it like in that perspective. You see, for me, it is always about be prepared so you never have to get prepared. My mindset was like so tunnel vision that I never allowed my eyes to see the bigger picture. Like the introverted side of me always seemed to grab a hold of my tongue before I could even speak. And that workshop really granted me the perspective that I have always been looking for. And that is within an interview, you should want to get to know the company more, just as much as they want to get to know you, if not more.
Yeah, that's a great perspective. And the interview process is such a daunting part of, post-college life. I'm glad that we can prepare you a little bit more for that. It's an anxiety-inducing thing, so I'm glad we can offer a little bit of comfort to you in that sense.
Yes, thank you.
Susan, internships typically, I guess people assume that when you apply for an internship, you're doing so in hopes that you will land a job at that specific company. That's not the case for our internship program. We're trying to prepare these students for wherever they may end up. Can you speak to how we're preparing the interns for that, even if they don't end up staying with Clearinghouse?
Sure. Well, I think it's important to explain to our audience that part of the desire for somebody to be a part of this program is that we offer a couple of different components. Unlike a lot of internships where the intern is just at one site, they're learning a specific job on that site, and that's what the extent of their internship is. We've been a little bit diverse with our program, and we want to provide a lot of different experiences and opportunities for our interns. So our college students have the opportunity to go on site and to work with one of our partners that have stepped up and said, we believe in this internship. We also want to support these college students that may not have had an opportunity to acquire an internship opportunity. And we want to take them under our wing for a period of that cohort. So in Omar's case, he was selected by Pacific Premier Bank. He went on site 2 days of the 4 days of the weekly internship. And he learned aspects in the loan servicing department. And his skill set gave him the opportunity to learn a variety of tasks and to perfect them in such a way that they had to keep finding opportunities for Omar because he would constantly continue to finish the projects, and then they had to find him more work to do. So he really was very instrumental in being helpful and also learning about the bank at the same time. And that's what we want to give to all of our interns, is that opportunity to be exposed to a bank or a like-minded nonprofit and learn what opportunities are there. And once our internship program comes to a conclusion, then there could be an opportunity for that partner to say, hey, we liked you so much that we want to offer you a permanent position. And I'm proud to say that we have heard that from 3 or 4 of our interns, that their partners have appreciated their input and service so much that they have offered them permanent employment. That is one of our key goals. And the other is to get them exposed that if now isn't the right time for them to accept that permanent position, that they could go back and talk with that partner in the future, and also just learn that there's other opportunities that could appeal to the intern and that they can explore them in their future careers.
That's awesome. I had not heard about the 3 positions being available to those interns. That's awesome. Omar, did you have a specific department within Clearinghouse or maybe an external company or nonprofit that you worked with that you kind of, raised an eyebrow at and been like, hey, that's something that I could be interested in?
Yeah, so there's, I believe it was, shoot, I forgot. We had like this, it was a workshop, and this, the host, he was talking about like how they like look at like areas of like certain cities and how they identify for clearinghouse that they should invest into those like properties and stuff like that. And I really thought like that could be something that I could do, like look at some areas that are underprivileged, under like funded, and I would try to like help those, just help the economy within those cities, because I come from an area that's pretty disadvantaged compared to others, and I would give anything in this world just to help the people around me. So that area would really help me out.
Let me help you out a little bit here, Omar, and let you know that was Donald from our Opportunity Zones department.
Yes, ma'am.
That gave that presentation and also shared some of the projects that have been completed that
Yes,
our audience can find on our website under Clearinghouse CDFI. And that is what Omar was speaking of, how that really resonated with him, and the opportunities it was going to bring to the community, to residents that may not have had affordable housing options. And they really are some stellar projects. I encourage everybody to check those out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Susan.
I love it. Cool. Well, Omar, one more question for you. What piece of advice would you try to leave the next cohort of students? What's something that you'd want them to know before jumping in?
Oh, I have a lot to say, but I mean, I would keep it simple. I'd say just take advantage of this wonderful opportunity. Take advantage of the resources, the advice, and the people, but in a good way. Make sure to ask questions and to pick at everyone's brain. You see, I'm someone whose family comes from very little, and these internships and these opportunities only come about so often. I'd say always remember that incredible internships like Be Bolder are meant to develop youth, not shun them. This last piece of advice I have is do not be afraid of the unknown. Instead, embrace it. For when you do, something beautiful happens within you.
I love it. Yeah, I can definitely tell that you took this experience like with both hands and jumped right in, gave it your full effort, and that's how you're going to get the most out of it. So I'm very happy that we got to have you this year and you got to chat with us a little bit. Susan, I want to pivot just slightly and talk about some of the volunteering initiatives that Clearinghouse is working towards encouraging our staff to take part in. Can you speak to where that motivation comes from and what's driving the why there?
Okay, you're breaking up a little bit, but I think I got the gist of the question, asking about to speak on our volunteer initiatives within Clearinghouse. Am I hearing you correctly?
Yep.
Okay, very good. So, yes, well, we're proud at Clearinghouse to, first of all, our management team has given opportunities for our staff to take company time and to devote some efforts to specific volunteer projects that might be meaningful to each employee. Besides that, we also have sponsored 3 company events per year. And what we do in those cases is rally the troops together at Clearinghouse. We share an opportunity that my volunteer committee and I work on, and share that message with the team, and have a specific topic that and nonprofit that we're going to support. So currently, we're on our summer project, and our summer volunteer project is called Support Our Troops. And you have to remember that the employees of Clearinghouse are scattered throughout the United States. So to get everybody together on one site to go and do a team volunteer opportunity is pretty unlikely. But we do have some areas that have several of our employees that are close enough that they can get together and work, and others that do have to go find that opportunity on their own. But with the Support Our Troops, it's a letter writing campaign. So what we're doing is writing notes and cards to the troops throughout the military. These cards are to our troops are meant to uplift them, to give them encouragement, to give them thanks for their sacrifice that they've made and their families have made, and hopefully put a smile on their face. So we're proud that we were able to come up with this idea, and that's our summer volunteer event. Earlier this year, we had Support Our Environment, and the employees had some suggestions that were given to them on ways to help maintain and protect the environment. We centered it around Earth Day, and had some great success with those opportunities. And one other opportunity that I also want to share, because these are also suggestions for our audience and how they can get themselves and their families and their teams at work engaged in some volunteer activities. But we had Give Blood, Save a Life. And that was a volunteer event that we secured last year. And again, we offered our employees to go out to a blood donation site, give blood. The Red Cross is urgently in need of that. And so it was a way that we could also help regardless of what area of the country our employees were from.
I love that. I participated in the blood drive and the letter writing, but the blood drive specifically was a great experience because, one, it was my first time giving blood, and I would not have had that opportunity if my company did not allow me the time to go and volunteer during work hours. But while I was there, I figured out that I have universal blood. So now I've gone back again and again and donated more blood so people can, I don't know, use it for however they need. It felt really special, and I would not have known. I would not have known that had I not been provided the opportunity to volunteer at the Red Cross. So kudos to the volunteer program. Susan,
Great. That's the story we want to hear.
Right? How are we measuring success then with these events, these volunteer events? Is there a metric? Are we trying to get as many people to hit a benchmark, or how are we determining, success in volunteering?
Yes. Well, we are also a B Corp. So part of that mission as a B Corp is to do good and to, serve underserved people, communities, etc. And so we continue to emphasize that B Corp certification that Clearinghouse proudly is designated with. But we've earned that. And every year or every other year, there is a new report card that comes out on companies that are B Corp that give the public some stats on how they're doing in various areas. Volunteering in the community is one of those areas. So we follow up with reminding our team about that obligation that we have with being a B Corp. We have management support in being able to offer these opportunities. We've had our management involved in many of the activities and get their hands dirty and roll up their sleeves as well to participate. And then we also share metrics with the impact department so that they can put these stats in their impact report that they produce on an annual basis. And for this recent volunteer event that support our troops are 2 high school students that we have during the summer cohort that is currently ongoing. We have had them put together some of the survey questions and the dashboard that's going to be shared with the company, and as far as the results.
Awesome. And those things kind of keep encouraging us to go back and get out there and volunteer. So I love it. Well done. Susan and Omar, is there anything else that you want to share with our audience, maybe about how they can apply to the program or how they can get in contact with you if they have questions?
Yeah, let me just share that our summer cohort is wrapping up. Currently, we proudly offer 2 cohorts during the year, a spring session and then a summer session. The spring session is available for college students and it will run for 16 weeks. The beginning date of that will be the middle of January of 2024. Yes, 2024. And we limit that to just the college students because of the flexibility in their schedule, where the high school students just don't have that flexibility. So then we'll roll out our second cohort in the summer of 24 that will have a number of college student openings as well as a couple of high school openings. And our site will go live on September the 1st in just a few weeks with the application for anyone to apply that meets our criteria for the next cohort in spring of 2024. And I encourage everybody to check that out, pass that along to students that you think could benefit, that may have an interest. We have some great partners that share our message and our program details throughout different student bodies so that we can spread the word all over. And we just want to continue to see that grow, expand our partners, and certainly be able to offer more places in the future for students like Omar.
I love it. Well, if you guys have any questions and would like to reach out to Susan about becoming an intern or a possible partner, I'm going to leave her contact information in the description of this episode, along with how you can get in contact with us if you want to ask a loan question. So Omar, Susan, thank you for joining me today on Funded. It was amazing having you guys, and everybody at home, we will see you on the next episode. Bye.